to the Ungovernables, the Captain's Crew, the LFA family, McGroin Nation coming to you live from the deep red state of Tennessee and rumble.com/LFA TV. Welcome to Ungoverned On. I'm going to take a point of personal privilege to open the show today. Big time point of personal privilege to open the show today. It's not just a Monday. It is not just a MAGA Monday. Excuse me. It's a Victory Monday for the 24 team. Yesterday, William freaking Byron did not run out of gas on the final couple of laps in Iowa. I am so happy, and a big thank you to the so-called NASCAR gods after putting me through a Bubba Wallace win last week in the NASCAR Cup Series. We were given a William Byron win this week. So 2014. There it is. I was very, very happy about that. Okay, Victory Monday. That is it. You're all not here for NASCAR. I understand that. Maybe one day you'll be here for NASCAR. But I thought he was running out of gas. It was like, ooh, squeeze it, stretch it. I was on the couch. He's not going to get there. He's not going to get there. And then he got there. All right, he won. Second win of the year for William Byron. Liberty University graduate William Byron, by the way. So a good guy to root for many, many reasons, but a very talented racer. So happy to see him win, and we'll see what happens next week at the Glen in upstate New York. Okay, we're going to get into CNN talking about how Donald Trump is the most popular, not most popular, sorry. He's the most popular, but the most influential president that we've ever seen. The highly caffeinated Harry Enton. You know, he's the one who speaks really fast on CNN. Here we get these poems, and it's like, people are like, this man needs a little less caffeine. Right? A little less caffeine. But we'll get to him and what these numbers mean. Obviously, we've had perfection on the border again. That doesn't mean nobody crossed, but nobody who crossed and was apprehended has been released into the country. The United States, I think, is at a negative net migration, which is good, right? Meaning more people are leaving or being forced to leave than are coming into the country. That is a good thing. That is a great stemming of the tide. We need that to swing even further in that direction. More people need to leave than come in right now. We're full, no vacancy. We can't handle it. So perfection on the border. No illegal immigrants for the third month in a row were released into the United States. If they came in, they were apprehended. They were detained. They were not released. Okay, catch and release is over. That is a very good thing, and that is part of why Donald Trump is so popular and so influential right now. Politico, one of my favorite BS outlets, as the great Dan Bongino called it, bullshitico, right, is panicking over indicators that suggest that potentially, and it is early, but potentially there may be no blue wave in 2026. This also comes as the Texas State House is trying to redistrict the entire state and basically eliminate 5 Democrat districts and give the Republicans 5 more seats. So the Democrats in Texas have fled the state in an attempt to break quorum. We're going to go through what can happen because there's a lot of information. I fell for it early this morning. Oh, Greg Abbott, he's going to declare vacancies and replace the people. Unfortunately, it's not that simple. I'm going to give you the facts on that today so that, again, after listening to this, you have realistic expectations. That is the goal. Okay, it's one thing to be told what you want to hear and get riled up into a frenzy, but it's another thing to have realistic expectations based on the facts so that we understand, just like when we talked about RussiaGate and all that, how we said right off the bat, treason, probably off the table. Colloquially, it's fine to refer to it as treason, but understand the legal threshold for RussiaGate and SPYGATE does not meet the legal threshold of treason, right? At least based off of the research that we've done, it doesn't look like it meets the legal threshold of treason, but conspiracy and potentially seditious conspiracy may apply, right? And that's why we've seen the administration, specifically John Ratcliffe, pivot to using the word conspiracy. Over to this Texas redistricting fight, the Democrats fleeing the state. Arrests have been issued. They are not criminal arrests. They are civil arrests. Who enforces them? Not the cops. So we will get into all the facts on how that's going to play out. Well, I also hope to get into what the Senate is up to. They have confirmed Judge Jeanine Pirro. Okay, but the rest of the confirmations are on hold. Why are they on hold? We'll get to that. Two sides of that story. We'll give you both sides of that story. Mark Wayne Mullen gave us a pretty good update on that as well. And if we have a chance, Rolling Stone magazine, which is far left, okay, is actually doubling, tripling, quadrupling down on Russia. If you can believe this.
What?
The Russia. Okay. I'm trying to describe this a certain way. Rolling Stone basically is saying that Russia, the country, is the reason why we're getting all of the information about SPYGATE. So in other words, yes, all of the facts that are backed up by documents, emails, communications between Obama administration officials, that is now all Russian disinformation. If we get to it, we'll get to it. It's a fun way to end it. All right, we're going to start with, we will start with Harry Yenton. Before we do that, I want to talk to you about our good friends over at OFP Farms. While you tell me in all the chats that we've got, we have the UK listening, Kelly Mullaney from the UK. In all the chats that we've got, let us know where you're watching from and start that round of shares right now as we talk to you about OFP Farms. Explore the wonderful quality of faith, farm, and freedom products with a special limited time 15% discount on your entire purchase. Take a peek at the lineup from OFP Farms, America's go-to soap company, famous for natural ingredients, the skin-loving perks of tallow and goat milk, and a big heart for farm-to-family skincare. Whether you're looking for gentle skincare or thoughtful gifts, these products bring together expert care and good values to make your daily routine better. Do not miss this chance to enjoy premium products that support your health and ethical choices for the entire family. OFP Farms is the small family farm with big love. I am starting a brand new Goat Kisses flavor this morning. It is the cherry pie flavor from the Patriotic Smack Pack. I have that going. I love cherry. My favorite. This is good, but my favorite flavor is the Southern Sweet Tea. It used to be the eucalyptus, but it is now the Southern Sweet Tea. But you can go ahead and pick up this stuff, this OFP Farms Goat Kisses Lip Balm. You can pick up the Outlaw Soap, which will leave you smelling like a felon for the rest of your life. By the way, I may wind up a convicted felon today because we have to go to the DMV, which is never a good mixture for someone like myself. So your T's and P's, thoughts and prayers would greatly be appreciated because I don't want to go.
And pray for me also because I will have to be there with
She's going to have to be there with me as my defense attorney. OFPfarms.com, promo code Sean, SHAWN, for 15% off. OFPfarms.com, promo code Sean for 15% off. That's OFP, Oscar Foxtrot, Papa Farms.com, promo code Sean for 15% off. I've got this. The Cherry Pie Goat Kisses is very good. So it may not be Southern Sweet Tea number one, numero uno, like Winky says in our chat, but it is very good. All right, let us know where we are watching from right now. I see South Dakota, the home of John Thune, who I'm not very happy with. However, again, Mark Wayne Mullen, the senator from Utah, I believe it's Utah, Oklahoma. The senator from Oklahoma has given a different side of things, so we're going to obviously give you both sides of it. Here we go. Cherry is the bomb from Crazy Moan McGroin. Brooklyn, New York is here in the chat. Brooklyn is in the house. Franklin, Tennessee is in the house. New Jersey Turnpike is in the house. Bad Moon says, is it wrong to eat the lip balm? Interesting. Houston, Texas. Good. We're going to be interesting. I don't think it's goat kisses, so I don't think you're going to die. I just wouldn't, it may smooth out the entire tract, if you know what I'm talking about.
A little cleanse.
A little cleanse.
Oh, maybe.
We have Houston, Texas. We're going to be talking about Texas in just a little bit. Ruga Red, 53. Kamala likes lip balm and knee pads. I'm not so sure about the lip balm. Or she may use the lip balm on another part of the body that you're not supposed to put the lip balm on. Arkansas is in the house. Texas in the house. Arizona in the house. Oregon in the house. Virginia in the house. Nebraska in the house. Alaska is in the house. Ken Aiden from Alaska. Is it light or dark? It's the summer, so it's probably light 20 hours a day. Alaska is in the house.
Oh my gosh.
I'm so excited. My future home. We're moving to Alaska. I didn't tell Brennan yet.
No.
We're moving to Alaska because
Winky, I'm moving in with you. I'm not moving to Alaska.
It doesn't get this hot.
No.
It's great. And in the winter, you can use your lightsaber all year round outside. Alaska's in the house. Sweet home Alabama's in the house. Florida's in the house. Georgia's in the house. Chicago's in the house. California's in the house. Florida's in the house again. West Virginia, Mountain Mama. Buffalo Junction, Virginia. I was going to say, there's no people in Buffalo anymore. What are we doing? Nebraska's in the house. Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, where the wind comes sweeping down the plains, in the house. Kentucky is in the house. Mark, who met us at the Ark. That rhymes. Mark from the Ark. In the house. Pennsylvania, Mississippi. I think I see... Did someone say Alaska? Okay. No, that is Freedom from McGoyan saying I was just in Alaska. We have one person in Alaska. That's pretty cool. Are you watching from an igloo? If you're in Alaska, watch me be stereotypical. Look at that. Twin Falls, Idaho, Tuttle, Oklahoma is in the house. Minnesota is in the house. Look at all the people. The beautiful people in the house. Watching from all around the country. We greatly. Nova Scotia is in the house. Surefoot is watching from Oak Island, right? They have to be. That's the only place that matters in Nova Scotia. If you're not watching from Oak Island, you're doing it wrong in Nova Scotia. Let me pop in over on X and see where we got. Let's see. Here we go. On my bike with my wife in Yorktown Heights, New York. Yorktown Heights. That would be AOC's stomping grounds. That's the great Matt Brown saying that... He's watching over on X. Baltimore's in the house. Nebraska, Texas on X. Missouri in the house. South Carolina, San Diego, New Mexico, Pittsburgh, North Dakota, Race City, USA, Mooresville, North Carolina, yes, and Wyoming. There's this stupid clickbait video going around of baseball-sized hail. Everybody has put this up. This tells you they didn't watch it, okay? It's unfortunate, but I encourage everybody who put this thing up. Said, Wyoming got hit with baseball-sized hail. The second clip in the video is from Germany. You can see it on the license plate. Then you have this like oceanfront property. Wyoming doesn't have an ocean. Folks, watch the clips before putting it up. Just like yesterday, a story went around that the Macrones dropped their lawsuit against Candace Owens. And everyone started dunking on me. I was like, what the hell did I miss? I went to Candace's own page. She's not even talking about it. These people took a headline from the Western Journal, which is written poorly, and it said, Macron's dropped lawsuit on Candace Owens, meaning they filed it. If you had read the article, the second paragraph in the article said, Candace Owens is facing a new lawsuit. She did not drop the lawsuit. She's going to get mopped in court, folks. Stop dunking on me if you don't have the receipts, because I'm going to make fools of all of you, okay? That's just my everlasting war on clickbait. Okay. Before we get to the Harry Enton clip, because I love this clip from Harry Enton, the highly caffeinated Harry Enton. I want to tell you about Patriot Mobile. Patriot Mobile can give you a rush, just like Harry Enton gets a rush from all the coffee that he gets on CNN. You have a lot of choices for cell phone service with new ones popping up all the time, all over the place. But here is the truth. That's what matters here. There's only one that boldly stands in the gap for every American that believes that freedom is worth fighting for, and that is Patriot Mobile. The good news is you can switch to Patriot Mobile today without sacrificing quality or service. If you're worried about coverage, don't be worried about coverage. Patriot Mobile uses all three major U.S. networks. If you have service in the United States today and you switch to Patriot Mobile, you will have service in the United States tomorrow. Very important. You'll have good or maybe even better coverage with Patriot Mobile. If you think switching is a hassle, it isn't. You can keep your number, you can keep your phone, or you can upgrade your phone. Patriot Mobile's 100% United States-based team. United States-based team at Patriot Mobile will get you activated in minutes from the comfort of your own home. If you're stuck in a contract or you owe money on one of your phones, no worries about that either. Hakuna Matata. Patriot Mobile has contract buyout programs as well that can help you out. This is how we win, ladies and gentlemen, by aligning our spending with our values. Every dollar that we spend matters, and where we spend it matters. Go to patriotmobile.com/FARASH or call 972-PATRIOT. Use the promo code FARASH, FARASH, and get a free month of service. So not only can you upgrade your service, but you get a free month as well. That is patriotmobile.com/Farish or 972-PATRIOT, patriotmobile.com/Farish or 972-PATRIOT. Do we have a new one?
Yes, redneck.
Redneck.
Not our OG
redneck. Redneck.
This is another redneck.
Hello, redneck.
Hey, brother, picked you up from the Nightly Scroll with Haley.
Bang.
New subscriber and listen every day. Love
Thank you, redneck. And to the continued support from the Bongino Army. We appreciate you. Thank you. And welcome to the show. And I love the name, Redneck, right? Yeah, the boys
disabled vet.
here. Disabled vet.
Small business owner, yeah.
Okay, small business owner trying to make it. Disabled vet. Hey.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service. And why don't you will allow this, let everyone know how to support them. Right?
Oh, yeah.
We usually nuke links, but
if
let's...
you have a link, put it in the comments below so it stays, so it's permanent.
Yeah, put it in the comments below. You, disabled vet, thank you for your service. And, obviously, small businesses built this country. Okay. CNN says that Donald Trump is the most influential president of this century amid key policies on immigration, which was perfect, right? The border. We had a perfect border. 0 illegals. Released into our country. Immigration and the economy are driving these numbers. Let me give you the highly caffeinated Harry Enton, because he talks fast and he's usually out of breath. Take a look at this. That is at rhinosec.us. There you go. Redneck. Put that in there. Cool. Go ahead, check it out. Give him a support. Support a disabled veteran in our chat. We appreciate it. Enton. Harry Enton, CNN, Trump's the most influential president in this century. Again, this was on CNN. This is a big deal because it was on CNN. Watch this.
The Donald Trump administration is arguably the most influential this century, and probably as well dating back a good portion of the last century as well. Love it, like it, lump it. Trump is remaking in the United States of America. Let's talk about tariffs first, right? There's all this talk that Donald Trump always chickens out when it comes to tariffs. No tacos for Trump. The effective tariff rate, get this, it's 18%, the highest since the FDR administration in the 1930s, up from, get this, just 2% last year. From just 2% last year, we're talking about an effective tariff rate level, get this, 9 times as high this year than last year. But it's not just on tariffs, which of course Donald Trump ran on, in which you're seeing a tremendously influential presidency. What about immigration? Of course, Trump ran and has always run on a very hawkish immigration platform. Get this, 2025 net migration in the United States down at least 60% from last year. In fact, we may be heading for the first time in at least 50 years in which we have net negative migration into the United States. And last year, of course, in 2024, the net migration in the U.S. was 2.8 million. This year, we might be talking about negative net migration. My goodness gracious. Now, of course, this is part of a larger story, as I was mentioning. We're talking about immigration, net migration. We're talking about the effective tariff rate. But get this, how is Donald Trump doing it? Well, he is signing a ton of executive orders. Get this, 180, the most in a year since Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Oh, my goodness, you have to go back to the first half of the 20th century, the last century. And to make a comparison, Joe Biden signed, get this, just 77 during his entire first year. And we're only a little bit in August so far, and Donald Trump making history with 180 executive orders signed so far this year. So that's why I said that in my mind, Donald Trump is the most influential president of this century, and probably dating back a good portion of the last century. That is because he is remaking the country in terms of tariffs. He is remaking the country in terms of net migration, and he is remaking the country in terms of how much policy changes he's putting through in executive orders. As I said, it truly is history making. Love it, like it, or lump it.
There it is, the great Harry Enton, and there's Matt Brown, the clever Matt Brown, calling it terrific. Yes, that is absolutely how we have to refer to it from this point forward. It's terrific news. Lots of tariffs on being implemented. Again, people whining, oh, we're going to pay the taxes. Oh my gosh, we're going to pay the... Have you had a problem yet? We've had these same levels of tariffs for the last couple of months. Like, the only thing I'm going to say, we got to work on the price of beef, okay? We got to work on the price of beef. It's going way too high. I like my beef, and it's going it's at like the highest prices ever. Come on. Eggs are down. I don't want to have to only eat eggs, though, because eggs are down, okay? I mean, pork is good, but beef, I would like some beef. Let's lower the price of beef, please. Okay. But as we talk about Donald Trump becoming the most influential president, and I guess you could say that positively or negatively. You saw the numbers that Harry Enton was citing on CNN. You're also getting Democrats to agree that Donald Trump is, in fact, winning the trade war. Now, which Democrats are winning the trade? Which Democrats are admitting that Donald Trump is winning the trade war? Well, the ones that you'd expect. I mean, is this guy a Democrat? He is. But I saw a meme online from one of my followers. Burt Macklin is his name. It's not his real name, but that's like he plays like a phony FBI guy on X. And he puts this meme up every time this happens. So obviously the great John Fetterman, and I say great, and I don't really think he's great, but he gives us content, okay? So for that reason, he's great. The Democrats, so there's this meme, I gotta see if I could find it. I'm gonna see if I could find it, because just explaining it isn't gonna do it justice. Let me see if I could find it, because it's really funny. Democrats will celebrate John Fetterman when he speaks gibberish, right? When he did the 95, 95, 95, when he walked around, on the debate stage, good night everybody, the whole thing. Democrats celebrate John Fetterman when he does something dumb, right? When he speaks gibberish, when he is incoherent, right? After the stroke, obviously nobody wanted to see him have a stroke, right? I wasn't sitting there saying I want to see the guy have a stroke, but Democrats were celebrating him. Here it is. This is the funniest meme I've seen to date with John Fetterman, okay? This is the Democrats with John Fetterman. When Fetterman says wubba dubba, they say, so true, King. When he comes out and compliments Donald Trump, they say, primary this vegetable, right? So wubba dubba Fetterman is good Fetterman for the Democrats, right? Dumb, incoherent, kind of, lumbering around, looking like Sasquatch, not Letitia James, like other Sasquatch. But when he says something in favor of Donald Trump, common sense, like he's going to say in this clip that I'm about to play for you, they flip out. So here's John Fetterman now admitting that, hey, Donald Trump has won the trade war. Watch this.
If you think right now Trump is winning the trade war, do you agree with those who think he is?
Absolutely. I think that, I see what happened at the EU. And again, I'm a huge fan of Bill Maher. And I think he's really one of the oracles for my party. And he acknowledges, hey, he thought that the tariffs were going to tank the economy, and he acknowledged that it did. So, so for me, it's like, again, it seems like the EU thing has been going well, and I guess we'll see how it happens with China.
Well, out of breath from walking, too. You notice that? He's kind of...
That's all right. You know what that happens to me, too.
Kind of waddling around, too. He's like, the EU thing, lumbering through the forest in Washington, D.C. But John Fetterman, I give him credit, right? Because obviously it's not a popular position to take within the Democrat Party. But I will say this, too. It's not just the Democrat Party that is taking these positions that Donald Trump is influential or that he's doing a great job. You have Politico, okay? Which there are no friends of ours. So I'm not telling you this and citing them because I think they are the arbiters of truth. I am citing Politico because when Politico reports on how the left is feeling, it's generally accurate, okay? When Politico is reporting on how the left is feeling, is generally accurate. That's why I'm citing them. I'm not telling you that they are the arbiters of truth, that you should get all your information there, that you should look to them for truthful, factual information on everything. But when they report on the left, it's worth listening to. Before the election, they did this too. Kamala Harris is in trouble. The poll numbers, the internal poll numbers aren't great. Politico had articles like that. them reporting on how they were worried about swing states. That was in Politico. That wasn't on, the sites that I pull information from that are generally factual about everything else, because we're not reporting on the left, we're reporting on, other things. Politico is a left-wing rag. All right, so here we go. This is like a warning message, the same type of messages that they were sending before the 2024 election, albeit there's a little more time between this one. Quote, more like a blue trickle. Dems are hoping for a blue wave that might not happen. There is little evidence so far that Democrats are going to crash the gates of Washington. This is from Danny Nguyen on Politico, written yesterday afternoon around 2 o'clock Eastern time. Many Democrats are betting on a blue wave next year to help them regain favor with disenchanted voters and claw back some control in Washington, but several key indicators are turning into warning signs instead. Recent polling shows Democrats are still struggling to regain their footing with voters who lurched right in 2024, and that is compounded by growing gaps in fundraising, an increasing number of messy primaries, and a congressional map that Republicans are redrawing to make it harder for Democrats to win. Quote, I don't see a blue wave, said Matt Taglia, the senior director of Emerson College polling. Emerson College, accurate pollster, skews to the left, but accurate pollster, okay? Emerson is generally more accurate than most. I'm not telling you to take the polls, as the gospel and to bet your life savings on what the polls say. I'm just giving you this because I like data. We've done polling before. Emerson College is one of those pollsters that is not as bad as some of the others, although they skew left. He says, quote, it's more like a blue trickle. Still, as Democrats go on offense during the August recess, they're trying to juice up a blue wave by stoking backlash to the policies enacted under a Republican trifecta. They've rolled out a variety of playbooks on Trump's handling of Epstein, tariffs, and economic woes that could come from the big, beautiful bill. Democrats are placing so much stock in a wave midterm election, partly because it could help them stymie Republicans in Congress and chart a path into the 2028 presidential election and beyond. Some Democrats acknowledge the party doesn't yet have the momentum it needs to gin up a blue wave, but say they're confident that it will come by early 2026. But the key, there is a lot of angst about the Democrat Party writ large. Okay? The Democrat Party is struggling, still struggling. Who is their leader? Who is their leader? Do they have a leader? Back in 2016, 2017, and leading into the 2018 midterms, you had Nancy Pelosi, and she was like, we have to get the Democrats to win so we can impeach. Right? impeach. There it is, right? We have Nancy.
Relax.
We have to. You guys like my Nancy teeth? These are the Nancy teeth. These are Nancy's dentures.
Shout out to Bad Moon.
Shout out to Bad Moon. He was the one who came up with this idea. Yeah. Nancy. Okay? They had Nancy Pelosi. Now who's their leader? Dollar Stowe, right? Dollar Stowe on both sides of Congress. You got Dollar Stowe in the House, Hakeem Jeffries, right? And Dollar Stowe in the Senate, Cory Booker, whose suit was about to kill somebody.
That button.
That button was, hold, right? You have Gavin Newsom. Come on. Gavin Newsom is a leader in his own mind. Okay. Jasmine Crockett, who may lose her seat because of the Texas redistricting. They don't have a leader. Okay. They're kind of disorganized and they're just like, orange man bad. That's their tactic. The thing that they don't have this go around that they had in 2018 was the Russia probe. They had the Mueller investigation. They had the idea that was floated out through the media into the heads of the American public that Donald Trump used Russian assistance to win the presidency. They don't have that this go around, right? They don't have we're just going to impeach the right? They don't have that. That's what they want to do, but they don't have something to cite to say, if you elect me, I will impeach Donald Trump because he colluded with Russia. They don't have that anymore. Okay? And they have a very, very disorganized message where they're opposing 80-20 issues like perfection on the border, like being treated fairly on the world stage, like inflation coming down. Okay? That's not to say they can't win in a blue wave in 2026. It's still very possible. But when you have outlets like Politico sending this warning sign, they are flashing Morse code SOS right now. They're flashing, they're signaling that, guys, you've got a problem. You've got a problem. If Politico is admitting the left has a problem, then the problem is probably even bigger than what they're leading on. Right? Go back to before the 2024 election where Politico was doing this about Kamala's internal polls. And that's not necessarily where they want. She lost all 7 swing states in the popular vote. This is why we rely on Politico when it comes to reporting on the left. Their reporting on the left is generally accurate and usually in a bad story like this, understated. And they are sounding the alarm bells right now that the Democrats, as of this moment, don't have the momentum necessary to win in a blue wave in 2026. It doesn't mean it can't happen, and there's still plenty of time. But it's a promising indicator for right now. Okay, we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to get to this redistricting thing, because we have to clear up and report the facts on what is going on in Texas, okay? Now, what is going on in Texas in terms of what the Democrats are doing, I believe is being reported on accurately. What Governor Abbott has the authority to do, I don't believe is being reported on accurately. So we will get to that and break it down so everybody understands the process, the steps that need to be taken if we want to see the most drastic of solutions over there in Texas. Before we get to Texas, I need to get to a word from our friends over at Silent. That is slnt.com/Sean, SHAWN. That is Silent, slnt.com/Sean. That's the best way to protect your privacy. Everybody's always trying to steal things from people now. Websites are stealing your data. People in public are stealing your credit card information by using these readers that they point at your phone. Gas stations, at 7-Elevens and all that. With the tap, make sure you pull on it because it could be a fraudulent thing. You lose all your bank account information. No good. Between the government, big tech, corporate America, and the hardest working people in the world, criminals, your privacy is compromised 24/7. There is no other option out there, ladies and gentlemen. You have to protect yourself in this day and age. It's sad but true. And that all starts with Silent. Silent's Faraday products block all incoming and outgoing signals so that your devices are invisible and safe from the outside world, from their backpacks, phone sleeves, and even their pants. Sydney Sweeney, where you at? Patented signal blocking technology blocks wireless signals, giving you peace of mind that your data does not end up in the wrong hands. Just put your device inside of it, close it up, and that's all you've got to do. You are safeguarded from unauthorized access, like all inbound and outbound signals. All the radiation that comes off your phone, blocked, access denied, not going to impact you. And it prevents you from being tracked and hacked by reading and tracking your device. Go silent today at slnt.com/Sean. Save 15% off and free shipping on qualifying orders. That's silent, slnt.com/Sean for 15% off and free shipping on qualifying orders. Silent, SLNT. Stay ahead of what's coming and protect yourself. Silent.com/Sean, SHAWN for 15% off and free shipping on qualifying orders. All right. This redistricting thing in Texas is getting crazy. Obviously, the Texas State House is looking at redistricting their congressional maps. This has happened in Democrat states all over the country. It is not new. Both parties do it. I don't like it, but both parties do it. So it's kind of like Roger Clemens was juicing, Barry Bonds was juicing. So there's nothing wrong with the strikeout or the home run because both guys were cheating, right? So you basically, both cheaters have canceled each other out. California has done this. Illinois has done this. The states in the Northeast have done this. So now Texas is getting ready to do it. And of course, now the Democrats are, this is unconstitutional. All of you people around the country do this too. Okay, so if Texas has to stop, then you guys have to stop. But here's what the Democrats are doing. They are fleeing, okay? So much for don't mess with Texas. You can mess with Texas if you're messing with Democrats because they will run away from this fight. Texas Democrats have fled the state to block the GOP congressional redistricting, and AG, Attorney General and Senate candidate Ken Paxton is calling for their arrest. So people are saying, arrest the Democrats. We're waving the pom-poms, we're waving the flags, we're shouting through megaphones, arrest. Everyone wants to arrest people. I get it. I totally understand it. But there's a difference between the type of arrest that you want to see and the type of arrests that can be carried out here under Texas law. So let's get to what exactly is going on in Texas, right? Why did the Democrats flee the state, and why don't they just vote on the legislation and vote on the new maps without the Democrats? Well, enough Democrats have left that breaks what's known as quorum, the minimum number of representatives needed in the Texas State House to conduct business, vote on legislation, etc. Okay, in the Texas State House, you need at least two-thirds of the chamber present in order to vote on the legislation and move legislation through the chamber. Without two-thirds present, you don't have quorum. You cannot proceed. Okay, so that's number one, and that's why they fled. But what is this about Greg Abbott now saying, I will vacate those seats if you don't come back? Okay, he can't just do that. Okay, and I don't believe that's what he's saying he wants to do. And I thought that maybe there was a provision in the Texas state constitution that allows him to do it, but there is not a provision that allows him to do that. Okay, Article 4, Section 12 of the Texas state constitution and state election law does allow the governor to fill vacancies in state or district offices, but not legislative seats via appointment. The governor can call a special election only after an official vacancy exists, but not preemptively due to absence. Okay, so then everyone said, well, why doesn't he just vacate the seat and then call a special election? Well, he could do that if he were allowed to. He's not allowed to do that. Governor Abbott cited a 2021 Attorney General opinion suggesting that Texas courts may remove lawmakers via a process known as quo warranto. It's a lawsuit. If a court finds that they have abandoned their office by intentionally skipping the session. Okay, so you have a bunch of Democrats who have intentionally skipped the session. Can't we just go through that process? Well, sure. But is it going to be something like putting in, a cup of water in the microwave and it's boiling in 2 minutes? That's not the way the courts work. Article 3, Section 10 of the Texas State Constitution gives each chamber the power to compel absent members to return, even by physical arrest under House rules, not removing their seat. This enforcement ensures quorum, but does not terminate membership. Now, when I say arrest, this does not involve law enforcement, okay? This involves the sergeant at arms of the Texas State House. These arrest warrants are civil arrest warrants. They are not criminal arrest warrants, and they cannot be enforced outside of the state of Texas, and also, minus a court order, cannot be enforced on private property, okay? So, what can happen to these members who have left? They can be fined $500 a day, initiated by the House. It's legal from Article 3, Section 10 of the Texas Constitution. That is a monetary penalty for their absence. Physical arrest is enforced by the House Sergeant at Arms. Article 3, Section 10 again forces, in some cases physically, a return to the chamber, and they can be held under guard by the Sergeant at Arms in the chamber to prevent future escape. The removal of the representative, though, the vacating of the seat, can only happen via the courts, via the process known as quo warranto. The court makes a judgment based on the alleged abandonment, may result in the vacating of the seat, which can then result in a special election. These things do not happen quickly, okay? The governor alone, period, end of story, cannot strip a state legislator of their seat because they didn't attend they didn't attend session. I don't care if we like that, if we don't like that, but if I didn't show up to my job, I'd be fired. Yeah, I know. I get it. But that's not the way it works in this. I'm just telling you the way it works. I'm not saying I like it. I don't like it. I'm just telling you what to expect. Okay. Governor Abbott cannot wave a magic wand and say state legislator X is banished from their seat, vacated from their seat because they fled the state. He just can't do that. Anybody telling you that he can do that is either lying to you or is giving you half of the information because they don't want to do a simple search on the rules, regulations, and procedures necessary to make that happen. All right. Again, how does the civil arrest warrant from the House of Representatives differ from a criminal arrest? Okay. This is not something where there can be charges. This is not something that carries jail time. All this is being done, the only reason why this is being done, the civil arrest, which has been done before, is to compel attendance in this special session. If the Texas House civil arrest warrants are not successful, meaning the absent lawmakers remain outside of the reach of House authority or refuse to return voluntarily, then the House cannot conduct business without quorum. The Texas state constitution, again, back to Article 3, Section 10, requires quorum, 2/3 of members present, to conduct legislative business. Without that, no bills can be debated or passed, including redistricting, budget matters, or emergency items from the governor. The House has zero legal power to force out-of-state arrests, meaning these representatives that are hiding in New Mexico, these representatives that are hiding in Illinois, cannot be arrested, cannot be forced back, okay? There are huge limits. Now, they can impose $500 a day fines. There can be political pressure and PR pressure and legal threats like pursuing quo warranto in the attempt to vacate the seat, but this is going to be a lengthy process. If courts become involved, the Attorney General may ask a court to determine whether the absent lawmakers have abandoned their office. If a court agrees, it could vacate their seats, and the governor could then call a special election. But these are very long, drawn-out processes. Now, the special session that has been called by the governor has a maximum length of 30 days. Democrats can simply run out the clock and then come back. But the governor can then call for another special session and restart the cycle all over again. To sum this up very, very succinctly so that we understand the information, I wrote a nice little post on X about this morning as I was doing this research just to put the information out there. And of course, it's the truth and it's not what everybody wants to hear. So it's not necessarily, getting the traction that it should, but this is what it is. If Governor Abbott wants to vacate the Democrat seats who fled the state to break quorum, he needs to pursue the quo warranto route in the courts. This would allow courts to decide whether or not the representatives abandon their offices. If it's successful, the seats could be vacated and the governor can call a special election to fill them. He cannot unilaterally do this without the courts due to restrictions in the Texas state constitution, namely Article 3, Section 10, which we just went through for you. It is a long process if it is pursued in the courts. As far as the quote-unquote arrest warrants that have been issued, everyone's hearing about arrest warrants. Here we go. Perp walks, not a criminal arrest. These are civil arrest warrants and cannot be enforced out of state. And by the way, in state, cannot be enforced by the police because it's not a criminal arrest. But if the members are within state lines, they can be taken into custody by the House Sergeant at Arms and brought back to the Capitol to enforce quorum. If the members are on private property within state lines, the Sergeant at Arms will need a court order to make the civil arrest because they can't just barge into private property. It's not constitutional. The governor can call another special election if the clock runs out, which is 30 days, and it is a total mess right now. If Democrats would just show up to work, this would not be a problem. But Republicans are limited with regards to what they can do. And if these Democrats are out of state, there's unfortunately nothing they can do. It's unfortunate. Okay? That's all I'm saying. Now, all they need are 2/3. I don't know how many are missing, but there's enough missing where they can't get anything done. Dozens of Texas Democrats are fleeing the state. Now, apparently this has cost the taxpayer millions of dollars. It's a very bad look from a PR standpoint. But my question is, does PR matter to Democrat voters? Okay, these Democrats who are in Democrat strongholds in the Texas State House, They don't care about bad PR because they're in Democrat strongholds where all of their voters vote like a monolith and will never vote for a Republican. So these Democrats are not at risk of losing their seats. So they're going to continue to do this. Now, eventually, they're going to have to come back. We'll see. But they can't. I just read through statutes. I just read through procedures. I just read through their constitution. They can't do it. Republicans can't do it. There is no limit, by the way, the amount of special sessions now that the governor can call. The Speaker of the House signed civil arrest warrants, which has happened, to arrest the absent lawmakers. The sergeant at arms or his deputies are tasked with locating the lawmakers. If they are found within Texas state lines, the member may be physically detained, not arrested criminally, and escorted to the Capitol. Once in the chamber, the member may be held under guard to prevent further escape during quorum calls. Again, this is not a criminal arrest. I want everyone to understand they are not breaking the law. Okay? And these arrests, the sergeant at arms cannot fly into Illinois and drag these people back to Texas. That is not in the realm of possibilities here. They have no power beyond Texas borders. There are no criminal consequences. It's a time-limited impact. Enforcement only matters during an active session. Once a special session ends, the warrant loses its purpose, and there is no more warrant. In 2021, during a Democrat quorum break, the Texas Supreme Court unanimously upheld the House's authority to issue civil arrest warrants to compel members back. Warrants were signed, but only a few Democrats were actually brought in. Most hid out in Washington, D.C., outside of the jurisdiction of the Texas State House. Okay, so again, the final differentiator here. Who issues these legislative arrest warrants? The Speaker of the House. Who issues criminal arrest warrants? A judge or the police. Two different things. Who enforces the civil arrest? The Sergeant at Arms of the House. Who enforces a criminal arrest? Law enforcement. What is the legal basis? The Constitution and House rules of the state of Texas. What is the legal basis for a criminal arrest? Obviously, the state's penal code and criminal code. Can it cross state lines? No, for civil arrests. Can it cross state lines for criminal arrest? Yes, if there's extradition. Can it lead to jail time? No, under civil arrest. Can it lead to jail time under criminal arrest? Obviously, yes. The civil arrests in Texas are a legislative tool to compel these folks to come back. I think the biggest way to bring them back, the best way to bring them back, is through the $500 a day fine. That's a lot of money they're going to start racking up, and they're going to have to pay it. Okay, but that's the long and short of what's going on in Texas. So let's not get confused about these members are being arrested and locked them up. No. And Abbott cannot say, abracadabra, the seat is vacant. He can pursue quo warranto and play it through the courts and have these seats vacated, but that's going to take a lot of time. All right, a quick break again, and then we'll get to what the federal Senate is doing. Before we do that, I'd like to get to a word from our friends over at mypatriotsupply.com. That is mypatriotsupply.com/ungoverned. Massive deal going on right now on the 3-month emergency food kit with a free 4-week food kit. That's a free month of food. That is pretty cool.
In our house, Sean would eat that in
it'd be gone
a day.
That's why I'm getting fat. Okay, I'm stacking on the pounds right now. I would eat that very, very quickly. 3-month emergency food kit with a free 4-week food kit. Summer's not just hot this summer. It's been pushing the historic levels. Flash flood warnings are at a 40-year high, and that's not slowing down. We see flooding happening everywhere. Towns are underwater, roads are being washed out, and in every crisis zone, it's the same scene. Crowds are standing in line, waiting for help, waiting for bottled water, waiting for food, waiting for someone to show up and save them. And they're told help is on the way, and then help doesn't show up, right? But what if help isn't on the way? What if help takes days or doesn't show up at all? If you think the system is built to protect you, You may be sadly mistaken. They can barely handle one emergency, let alone dozens. I don't know about you, but I don't want to be caught empty-handed with my pants down in the middle of an emergency. That's why I want you to check this out right here, mypatriotsupply.com. They're giving away for free 4 weeks of emergency food. Giving it away. Look, the 3-month emergency food kit is normally $1,000. It's $700 and you're getting a free month on top of that. You are not going to get a better deal. This food has a 25-year shelf life. Go to mypatriotsupply.com/ungoverned to find out how to claim your free 4-week emergency food supply and join millions of Americans who are preparing with My Patriot Supply. Again, that's mypatriotsupply.com/ungoverned, mypatriotsupply.com/ungoverned for that 3-month emergency food supply and a free month on top of that. And the big discount, $300 off. Come on. mypatriotsupply.com/ungoverned, mypatriotsupply.com/ungoverned. Hurricane season is coming. It's right around the corner. This is something I would imagine you want to take advantage of. Okay. The Senate has confirmed Judge Jeanine. This is a good thing. Okay. We now have a U.S. attorney. This was supposed to be Ed Martin. It is instead Judge Jeanine. Fine. We'll live with it. Okay, I'd rather have Ed Martin in that role, but it is Judge Jeanine Pirro. She has been confirmed, but the rest of the confirmations are on hold because the Senate is on recess. Now, everyone's like, recess appointments. Yes, except the Senate is doing something that they have done for a while. It is dirty. I don't like it, but it is called pro forma sessions. They have done this for years. They did it under Obama. They did it under Biden. They did it under Bush. So what a pro forma session is, they're brief meetings of the U.S. Senate hired primarily to fulfill constitutional procedural requirements without conducting any substantial business. A pro forma session is a short meeting, often lasting just minutes, during which no formal legislative activity takes place. A single senator, while the Senate is on quote-unquote recess, every few days can come into the chamber, gavel in, say a few words, like there's nothing to be done here, gavel out, and that prevents the president from making recess appointments. They did this under Obama. They did this under Bush. They've done this under Trump. They've done this under Biden. I don't like it, but they do it. The Senate can determine when it is in session, including pro forma sessions, limiting presidential recess appointment powers. That's why they're doing it. But I want to give you the other side of the story here. Mark Wayne Mullen has a different take on this. He is a senator from Oklahoma. I want to play this for you so that we can get both sides of the story here because I'm not happy with John Thune, but Mark Wayne Mullen says, hold on before you freak out. Watch.
Accept it, and I'm proud of President Trump. I spoke to him this morning, which, by the way, he's watching your show, and he said, I had to walk away. I didn't have a choice. I said, sir, I'm proud that you did this because we put them on notice and said, we're not going to play games with you anymore. So now you're forcing us to change Senate rules, which honestly, in the long run, is the best thing. So as soon as we get back through this, through the August, we're going to be working on rules change. When we get back, we're going to have to implement those rules change. And it's not our fault. The Democrats are going to scream saying, we're doing the nuclear option. No, Chuck Schumer and the Democrats did the negotiation or did the nuclear option because they have filibustered. We have 131 nominees confirmed. They have filibustered every single one of those except Marco Rubio. And I want to compare the difference between where we're at in 17 to where we're at today, just because I want to show the leadership and the effectiveness of Leader Thune. In 2017, we only had 55 confirmed at the same time. And they weren't filibustering all of them because Thune made it very clear we can do this a hard way or easy way. You remember him saying that at the beginning? They chose to do the hard way, so the Senate has stayed in more consecutive days than we have in 15 years. We've taken more votes than we have in 30.
All right, according to Donald Trump now, the Democrats are essentially trying to bribe him, right? They were essentially trying to get $2 billion or something for them to confirm the rest of the nominees. It is your job. Oh, he's going off this morning. Elizabeth Warren is a loser. She lies about everything, including the fact that she's an Indian. She's not. She's no Pocahontas. Oh, he's going off on people. He's praising Sydney Sweeney on Truth Social. Let's see. Democrats led by crying Chuck Schumer are now slow walking my nominees, more than 150 of them. They wanted us to pay originally $2 billion for approvals. What is this? You're holding the government hostage for $2 billion? I'm going to play another clip from Mark Wayne Mullen in a second. Before I do that, I want to talk to you about our friends over at Armor Colostrum. That is tryarmor.com/LFATV, TRYARMRA.com/LFATV. You know, I'm always on the lookout for ways to strengthen my immunity, my gut health, my metabolism. That is Armor Colostrum. Colostrum is the first nutrition that we receive in life and contains all the essential nutrients that our bodies need in order to thrive. Here's what it can do for you and more. It can help reactivate your hair growth and help your skin glow, okay? You can stimulate stem cell research and collagen production, increasing elasticity for plumper skin, guarding against UV damage, chemicals, and pollutants from the environment, clearing blemishes for a glowy complexion. It could also fortify your gut health and ignite your metabolism, and it can fuel your fitness performance and recovery. Check out this amazing deal at tryarmor.com/LFATV. That's TRYARMRA.com/LFATV. Tryarmor.com/LFATV for 15% off your first order. Tryarmor.com/LFATV. Mark Wayne Mullen giving us another update on what is going on in the Senate. Take a look.
Even though we're not going to be voting for the next few weeks, we're going to be looking at changing the Senate rules, because if Thune is right, which he said this beginning, we can do it the hard way or the easy way. They're insisting, Chuck Schumer is insisting us doing it the hard way. Then the only option we have is to change the Senate rules to break the logjam to move on through. So unfortunately, this is where we're at, and I guess we're living to fight another day. But God bless you all. Thanks for letting me be here in this fight. Hopefully I'll see you back.
So they're going to change the Senate rules to help move these confirmations along in September, while holding pro forma sessions throughout the month of August to avoid recess appointments. I would rather Donald Trump make those recess appointments, but these folks can be confirmed in September and be in the position permanently rather than for I guess a year and a half, 18 months or so. All right, finally, is this ridiculous story. We'll touch on it. Maybe we'll talk more about it tomorrow. But the evidence that the Russian collusion narrative was fake is now made up by Russia. Okay. You've got it right. All of the evidence that is implicating Obama and Biden and Clapper and Comey and Loretta Lynch and John Brennan and Hillary Clinton and Susan Rice and Peter Strzok and Andy McCabe and everybody in the media, all that evidence that implicates them, that's all Russian disinformation too. You've got to be kidding. Good. I'm happy they're pushing this. Let's see if Democrats glom onto it, because then you're furthering the conspiracy. There is no Russian disinformation. You people tried to rig an election and oust a duly elected president on garbage. There is no Russian disinformation. So Rolling Stone can take this. You know what? Hand it to Senate Democrats. Hand it to those ex-Intel officials. Let them parrot this narrative, because then you're only furthering the conspiracy and the statute of limitations continues to get kicked down the road. Stupid. What a dumb thing. Oh, the evidence that the Russian collusion is fake is Russian. Give me what? Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, Jeremy Harrell is coming up next on LFA TV for the next, not 1 hour, not 2 hours, but 3 hours. 3 hours. Jeremy Harrell coming up next on LFA TV. 3 straight hours of Jeremy. All right. You've got this LFA TV store. Support the channel, support the page, support our mission by going to LFATV.us, click on the store tab or click on the donate tab, visit the store. You see everything there is to offer here at the LFA TV store, including the shirt that I was wearing at the Ark, the I Don't Really Care Margaret shirt, which I got compliments on from LFA family members and random people at the Ark. They said, that's a great shirt. I love it. I Don't Really Care, Margaret, among many other shirts there at LFATV.us. Check it out. Jeremy Harrell up next for the next 3 hours here on LFA TV. As President Trump would say, we will never give up. We will never give in. We will never, ever surrender. If all else fails, we'll just become ungovernable. Thank you. God bless you. God bless this one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Hit the like button, please, for the show. It helps our entire channel fly up the charts. Please make sure that you're sharing with all your friends. We are only as powerful as our audience wants us to be. And obviously, we all know we want to be the most powerful network on the internet. Have a great rest of your Monday. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place, 10 a.m. Eastern time. Until then, good night, everybody. Bang, gavel, and thank you for your attention to this matter.